here in Hong Kong and I've picked something up. It's not something itchy, it's what I've got in my hands right here. It's the Rollei 35 AF.
For sure, the only thing itching are my fingers in anticipation of shooting with this. Before we get going though, the sponsor of this video is Squarespace, the place to get your website up and running quick and easy. Try for 14 days for free and get 10% off your first order. Link and discount code below.
Just in case you don't know, this is a film camera. So the 35 is the original, that was a manual focus compact camera. And this is not, from what I can remember, this is not quite as compact. Feels a little bit bigger, a little bit lighter, but it's fine. It looks cool.
Certainly, if we're talking about brand new film cameras that look cool, we haven't exactly been spoiled for choice recently.
They're showing Pentax up, because Pentax released a half-frame camera recently, in 17. This is full frame, if you want to call it full frame. It feels pretty familiar, but yet not. It's been modernized. Before, you kind of have to guess the focus, scale focus. This one's got LiDAR. LiDAR? It's got it anyway. There's that little black window there. So this is made by the guys from Mint Camera. Gary Ho, top chap, very clever chap. Essentially, it's sort of designed from the ground up, because this is not just the Rollei 35 body with bits crammed in from a modern camera. They've essentially made it to look like the original. So that's why it feels different, because all of the parts are completely new and designed by Mint Camera. It's just that LiDAR focusing is outsourced. But even there, they've had to change the programming to essentially make it more efficient in terms of its power usage. So that's the cool thing about Mint Camera, and I love it.
I'm glad that someone has made this, even more so that Mint Camera were the ones behind it.
But anyway, always love compact cameras just because there's something in hand. It's the best camera for street photography. Forget your Leica M's. This is it. It's one-hander. And I'm holding umbrella with the other one.
If only I had free hands, the possibilities would be endless. Oh, okay, wishes do come true after all. Thankfully though, it's a camera that doesn't require an extra hand to operate. All you need to do is just press one button and wind the film.
So yeah, automatic exposure. You don't need to do anything. I mean, the dial's on the front, like you can set what film you're using in it. But over here you can rotate this ring, which is like your exposure compensation, and then your aperture on this side, and then your lens in the middle. Before it was an extendable one, you can't extend it. It's an autofocusing lens. But the previous 35s had Zeiss lenses. This is not a Zeiss.
Zeiss is nice but not a necessity, just ask Sony. The lens in the 35 AF references previous optical formulas that were developed with the assistance of former Pentax engineers, apparently. Is it sharp wide open? Well, not in a modern way. While wide open shots will have a softer look with softer corners, stopping it down just a little to f4 will produce a crisp quality throughout that 35mm frame that anyone can appreciate. It's a 5-element lens. It's quite a simple optical formula, but this cute little thing produces more than adequately sharp images.
So when you're looking through the viewfinder, the frame lines are actually wider than the window itself. It's either that or it's my problem, but it feels like it's wider than the window itself. So you just use the width of the window and it's pretty much the same. So it's a 35mm lens. Before you had the 40mm, not quite the same, but that's fine. 35mm full focal length. We've got a little tiny LCD screen here. That's to show whether it's too bright, and I think it's too bright because I'm pointing up into the sky. So you half press it, you can see the amount of shots there. I'm on 35, taking a lovely shot of the underside of an umbrella. But I think that's it. To rewind, wind until you feel no more struggle. Okay, now we can take off the back, flick that switch, Not exactly a bright sunny day, but that's fine. Let's see how it goes. So let me show you how to load a film on this. It's not the easiest, but it is true to original. So you get your film, plonk it in, feed it through there. Okay, use this to press it down, that keeps the film flat. Put that back on, lock it in place, and that's crucial. They put a little exclamation mark there so you know you should have that down once the film is in. On the window it should show -2, that means you need to wind it twice before you can get going with the film. As once.
And about that lever around the shutter button,
You've got options with the little switch there. You've got off, self-explanatory. Then you've got the flash, no flash. Flash means you have flash. No flash means it's just basic standard shooting without a flash. Obs. And then you've got ISO. So you can change the ISO. Essentially, if you want to, I don't know, push process, push or pull, whatever you like. But it's DX coded, so you don't need to set anything, you just put your film in and that's it. Oh, trolley ladies. I missed the trolley ladies. They're still here. I love it. Some things haven't changed. Obviously some of them have died off. But the new trolley ladies probably. They've been replaced. Even the smells. It's exactly as I remember the smell. I'm sure that guy is the same. That guy, I remember taking a picture of a Hasselblad there, and he was opening a carton drink with his knife that he chops the raw meat with.
same place, different uncle. The 35AF might look like an old camera and it might be easy to evaluate it compared to the old one, but we've got to evaluate what makes it good as a current day camera.
So it's an f2.8 lens. Not incredibly fast, but I think it's kind of standard for these kind of compact cameras. They've kept it low profile, but then they've still kind of made it look like it's one of those extendable lenses.
I'm sure some might be disappointed by a lens not being an extendable, retractable type, but what should be pleasing is having autofocus. Same ergonomics and old school feels with a new, more fluid point and shoot style of shooting, just as long as you understand what its limits are.
I mean, focusing feels quick. I don't actually know if it's in focus.
For a subject moving quickly towards you, the autofocus might not keep up. Otherwise, the focus was quick enough for other street shots.
There's only one focusing square. It's right slap bang in the middle, so if you want to recompose, you don't want to focus everything in the middle, you have to sort of half press and then recompose. I was kind of surprised by the focus speed. I was thinking that it wouldn't be all that quick, even with LiDAR, whatever. If it was quite snappy, if it was good enough for this kind of thing, when you're on the move.
It has LiDAR, that's as quick and accurate as a laser will be, but a focus will still be as quick as how quickly the lens motor can move. And, well, you can hear it for yourself.
I kind of like that noise, it makes a little kind of... There's none of that silent focusing, it makes a bit of a noise.
It is quite noticeable, but one benefit of it is that you can audibly tell when the lens has completed a task of focusing. It's just that it might lack a bit of discreetness when you're shooting in a place that might need it. Although in this low light, I was wishing for something else.
No, I don't know if it'll work with ISO 100 film f2.8, but I'm trying to hold my breath as I take the shot and just hold my sphincter as tight as possible to counterbalance.
The shutter speed would have been slow, but the form factor and the leaf shutter combines to make it easier to get usable shots. The LiDAR makes the job of focusing on a poorly lit object easier, and the metering was spot on for this and pretty much every other shot I took. It does have manual exposure and exposure comp, but I used automatic exposure for all. If you're looking for a film compact camera, probably the only real main concern I imagine people will have with the Rollei 35AF is value. It's priced at $799, £761, a little more for the black version. Of course, you can get some fine film autofocusing compact cameras for less on eBay. Ricoh GR1, Olympus Mu, Nikon 35 Ti, Yashica T4. This is a brand new product and quite a unique idea. It's taken the cool style of an old film camera and put tech in it that is well suited for use in the modern day. If we look at the more rudimentary Pentax 17 at $499 and then look at the Rollei 35 AF, then you'll realise that not only is the pricing quite alright, but they have got the balance so right in the 35 AF when it is seemingly so easy to get it so wrong.